guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and something a little bit different here today on Assetto Corsa. Now, you guys might have noticed recently I did sort of tweet it out, and also I've been making some references in the videos, but I've recently got a new steering wheel, a Thrustmaster TSPC Racer, which was kindly sent to me by the guys at Thrustmaster. I requested because my old steering wheel was pretty much done and dusted. I used to have a Logitech T27. The pedals are gone, like the feel was completely gone in them now, and they kept on breaking. And also the actual steering wheel sometimes would pull to one side. So it was about time I got an upgrade. I had that old one for nearly 5 years, so I got a lot of mileage out of it, done a hell of a lot of laps. And it was time for an upgrade, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, we'll see what happens. And luckily Thrustmaster pulled through and they managed to hook me up. So this video is just thanks to them, and also all the content on the channel, all the videos have been recorded with my new steering wheel. So a massive shout out to Thrustmaster for hooking me up. And if you guys do want to check out what they have in store, get a TSPC Racer for yourself, then do check out their website in the link down below in the description. But in this particular video, I thought I'd show off the new steering wheel, doing something I've never done before on my channel. I might have done it once before, but a long time ago. I'm talking like 3 years ago, but this is the first time I'm doing it properly to this level. So we're going to try and do a wheel cam in this video, and it's going to be basically the webcam strapped to my chest and giving the effect of a GoPro, and we're going to get some wheel cam action overlapped over the cockpit view of this gameplay. Now I've got some F1 2004 Ferrari gameplay at Mugello, which by the way is absolutely sublime with this V10 engine, and also I have some V6 goodness from this season, from last season's Ferrari car with a halo strapped on. So two different tests. But anyway, let's get the wheel overlay on. As you can see, we've got it on top of the actual steering wheel itself in game. Hopefully you guys can appreciate it. I try my best to make sure it doesn't clash too much, but hopefully you can get the sort of one-to-one resemblance of what exactly is going on while I'm working the wheel. Also, any shaking you might notice in the episode, in this video, is genuinely force feedback. This wheel I'll talk about in a moment, but the force feedback is really strong, and all the shaking around is definitely not because I'm putting it on or because the camera's moving. The camera was tight to my chest. It's literally just pure vibration going through my arms, and I generally am quite a guy that prefers the heavier wheels and the heavier force feedback. So anyway, jumping into another gameplay itself, this was just my warm-up lap on Mugello with 2004 on Assetto Corsa. By the way, guys, if you haven't got this mod, I do urge you to go check it out. You do have to pay for it, but it's absolutely worth the money, and it gives you a good idea of what the V10 cars were like back in the day. This is my all-time favourite F1 car personally, so I absolutely love this car, and driving it around Mugello was one that it just sort of hit me like a bolt of lightning. I'd never thought about driving an F1 car around here, but then I did, and I've got to say it was one of the best combinations I've ever done, because Mugello is such a good track in MotoGP, and I thought, you know what, as a hot lapping track, a time trial track, it's absolutely phenomenal. I'd love to see F1 come here one day in the future, but that's entirely down to whether they improve with dirty air. But anyway, I've got a few installation laps underway, and I've got a good balance in the car. I'm going to do a hot lap now, my best lap of this session, and it was an incredible lap. I've got no setup on the car, it's completely default, so we're going to just jump into it now as we flash towards the new and improved lap times. I've already got a bank lap in the bottom left, as you can see, and this lap is going to be even faster still. So we're going to run aboard for a hot lap of the Mugello circuit, and let me tell you, it's so bloody quick. So here we go, straight away into turn 1. You want to brake at the 15-meter board, and you want to go down to 4th gear and then eventually down to 3rd to really get it slowed down. The truck sort of falls away from you, so it doesn't matter if you miss the apex a bit, as long as you pick up the traction as we throw it into turn 2 and then open up turn 3. Really, you know, just pushing the limits, using all the curbing, attacking the racetrack, and leaving no time on the table as we're up in the first sector in the bottom left there. Now going into 4 and 5, I believe it is. Yeah, 4 and 5. Once again, another left-right combination, and then this is the corner where it all gets interesting. Down the hill, the right-hander, flicking it left, keeping it flat, foot planted to the floor through here as we now go up the hill, cambered right-hander, which feeds into another one with a very slight lift on the apex, but keeping it in there. Really, that section is absolutely phenomenal, the best part on the track, and I got it absolutely perfect. So that's why this lap was so good, and I could not improve because I got that part absolutely perfect. As we now go down the hill, down the right-hander, slightly off camber as we miss the apex, but it's not a problem because the way the track is naturally, you come back into it later on with the late apex, then flat out through a sort of quick chicane, and then now finally into the final corner. You really want to throw the car in there because of the camber to the inside, which is very good for the front end of the car, which means it's going to naturally just turn in there and pick up the traction as soon as you're there. And with the traction control on this car, it's so easy and so much fun, and that is our best lap around the Mugello circuit, and we do a 121.5, and that lap, I tell you, that was such a good lap. Loved it so much, and not any mistakes. I mean, I might have done a few small ones, but as a whole, the lap was so perfect, especially that middle part where it was so quick. We got it absolutely nailed on, and yeah, overall a great experience. But now jumping into the second test. Now this is a bit of an interesting one for you guys to gauge. Now I'm not going to talk over the gameplay in this one so much. This is going to be more talking about the steering wheel, because this lap wasn't as great as the Mugello one. I'm going to be driving the 2017 Ferrari with the Halo mod, so that's going to give you another sort of perspective of what I'm going through. But as you can see, this wheel, now it's an interesting one. I actually use gloves for this steering wheel because the grips, they're actually, they do stay in your hands because they're proper grips. It's not plastic or anything, or leather. It's like a foamish kind of grip. It's similar to what you have on the go-kart wheels, which is absolutely fine. I absolutely love it. But when you do a 50% race, you can build up a sweat and your hands do get dirty, which is not a big problem. Like I said, I'll wear gloves. And to be fair, putting the gloves on does add to that immersion factor. I know it sounds a bit nerdy, so to speak, but it does add to a genuine immersion factor. And as you can see, I'm just showcasing a bit of how the force feedback is biting me with the turbo in this V6 car, because I'm trying to get straight in the car and put the power down, but then just keeps on hitting me, and the force feedback is so strong I have to get my hands off the wheel. But yeah, this is sort of different gameplay with the Halo and the gloves on, just to give you a different sort of point of view. But overall, this wheel is absolutely phenomenal. I've got to say, I really love it. There was a lot of hype behind it, and the price tag, it is what it is. So I was unconvinced whether it was worth the price tag, but now that I've got it and I've experienced it, it's totally worth it. It's the best wheel I've ever used, bar none. I've used various different wheels, but this one is just the top of the pile for me. It ticks all the boxes, and also just the little details, like for example buttons on the steering wheel. The G27 only had 6 buttons on the actual steering wheel itself. The rest of them were on a separate shifter, whereas this steering wheel just on the wheel itself has 9, so it's got 3 more, or 10 really, if you account for an extra button that's on there. So there's already more buttons on there for me to use and assign them in game, which is a hell of a lot easier when it comes to, you know, different points of view in the F1 game, cycling through the fuel mixtures and all that sort of stuff. Also, that the D-pad is on the wheel, which is a massive bonus, because on the G27 it wasn't. It was on the separate shifter, which meant I had to keep on reaching over to change my fuel mixture, whereas here it's on the steering wheel, so it's so much easier and so much more comfortable. Like I said, the force feedback is absolutely brilliant. The wheel is really, like I said, heavy. Both the actual weight of the thing and also when you're using it, it just feels heavy. But personally, I love that sensation. You can always turn it down, but I'm glad that I've got a wheel that exceeds the heaviness of what the full baseline is on most wheels, and this one actually goes beyond that, because that's what I like. Also, the pedals are really good. I've got the T3 PA pedals. Those were sent to me also by Thrustmaster. Really good pedals, very similar to the G27 one, so the transition was very seamless. But overall, the wheel itself, the paddle shifters are really good. I really enjoy those. Very comfortable. They feel very natural. And overall, the wheel itself is actually just, the fact that it looks more like a racing wheel. It might be just sort of a mental thing, but the wheel definitely I feel quicker with the wheel, even though it's just a different style of steering wheel, just because it looks more like a racing one. I combined with the racing gloves, I just feel like it just gives me a more immersion factor and a bit more of a better feel, and I feel like I'm a little bit quicker actually. My lap times have definitely improved now that I've put in enough laps and I've got a bit quicker. I've found to go a little bit quicker in the F1 game. I've got a little bit more finesse in my driving. I can be a lot more accurate, and overall I'm a lot better compared to what I was. Also, you know, just really picking out those fine details when it comes to driving a car that isn't really working for you. You can make it work that little bit better, and overall the wheel's really good. Like I said, I would recommend it. It's absolutely brilliant. They also have a load of other wheels, like I mentioned, on their website, not just this one if you can't afford it, because it is a very expensive steering wheel, I can admit. They've got loads of other decent options, but Thrustmaster is actually the company and the wheels that I started using when I first started using steering wheels way back in the day, and I'm glad that it's come full circle. But other than that, guys, hopefully you found the video informative, hopefully you enjoyed it, something different. This will be the second video on the day on the channel, so yeah, a massive shout out to Thrustmaster for hooking me up. I can't thank you guys enough, because I really needed the steering wheel. I was on my YouTube break, luckily enough, but even then I still needed the wheel to do the content, because otherwise I was going absolutely nowhere going into the summer, so I needed this hookup, and they came through for me, so I can't be more thankful for it. And yeah, go give them some support, guys. You know, if you want to go on Twitter, give them the tweets, tell them I sent you. By all means, go do that. I'll leave their Twitter link down below in the description also. But other than that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video here today, and like I said, you enjoyed it, you found it informative, and If you do have this wheel, guys, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are if you do have it, and if you're thinking of buying it, let me know if you do, because of this video giving more encouragement, because I'm curious to see what you guys think. And also let me know what you thought of the WheelCam, and should I do more WheelCam videos like this, let me know in the near future. But other than that, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. It's a bit of a different one, and we'll be back to the regular content tomorrow. But like I said, do check out Thrustmaster. Also do check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them by chance, guys. Also do like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and that is about it for the plugs, and that is it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one very, very soon. Goodbye.